This recording is going to be the quick and dirty looking at how Google presentation, Google Slides works. So what we're starting with, when you open up your slides, you have this blank slide with an untitled presentation. We want to make sure we give it a title. And the easy way to give it a title is just click here to rename it. And I'll just call it example slides. Hit enter, and that names it for you. You can also star it, so it should be your favorites folder, or you can organize it in your folders. So right now it's currently in the My Drive, so it's not really in another folder. So I do want to move it, and I'm going to move it to the My Drive, and I have a folder for examples. So my example folder, and move here. And now it's all set. I can undo that if I want, or I can just get rid of that message. Now, like the other Google applications, this has all of the menus up here, very similar to Microsoft Word, and a bunch of icons to do some of these things as well. If you don't see all of these, there should be a button that says More that gives you a drop-down menu for more of those things. You can start by picking a theme, and they've got a lot of themes here pre-made that you can look at and use, or you can import themes from other applications. I've not done that, but I'll just pick one. It'll take a second, and it updates everything for me. So here's my title slide. And you can see that it updates over here as we go. Now, if I want to insert more slides, the easiest way to do that is to click the little plus. If you use the plus, it puts in what it thinks the next slide should be. In this case, it's what we call a title slide, content slide. You can change the format of the slide, the layout of it, by clicking the layout button. And if those don't show up, it's because you're clicked on something else. So just kind of click off to the side. You can change the layout. So we've got a section header slide you can put in, title and body, which is what we currently have. You can tell it's got the dark rectangle around it. Title in 2 columns, title only 1 column. And so you've got a big space over here for something. A main point, section title and description, a small caption underneath, put a big picture with a caption, a big number, or a blank page. And you can insert any of these or change any of these however you want. So you can insert, if you hit the little down arrow, you can insert it like this. So I can insert the 2 columns, or I can go ahead and insert a section title with description. And since I've already picked my theme, I'll go ahead and close out this little pane so I can have some more room to look at here. And as you're typing things in, maybe if I spell it right, you can put them in and you can kind of see how they show up. So I'll just keep typing here, column 1, and column 2, and here it is section, and description. And so you can see over on the left, this catches up, so you can kind of see how they look. If you want to reorder these, you can actually just click and drag these little mini slides to reorder them however you want to do that. And you can make it work whichever way you want. Now, there's a few other things up here that you can do that aren't the same type of things as in Docs, right? Because you can insert images, you can insert video or word art. Well, that's a new one. You can insert shapes and tables and animations and slide numbers and comments, just like we did in Docs. But you can also do a few other things. For example, you can change the background. And you can make the background a different color. So right now, these are the colors that match the theme. You can pick any other color, or instead you can use an image. And so if I want to search for an image of a jungle to use the background, I'll just pick the first one and say done. There it shows up. And you've got a new background. Notice I didn't do everything because this is still this box here. And different slides, when you change the background, they will give you different, it'll show up in different places. So it's worth just trying it and see where things show up when you change the backgrounds. Just to kind of see what it looks like. So you can do that, you can play with those backgrounds there. When you put information in, so let's say I start by putting in a new title and body. And so I say title of the body, I go occasionally the Explore button will pop up, and it will give you options as to what kind of layouts you might think of changing it to. And these are things that match the content that you have. And so you can click through and see, oh, do any of these work better than others? Do I like this here instead of what was there before? And there's lots of different types of layouts and ways that this can look, and you can just go through and explore these. And they are auto-created, or just like in Docs, you can search for other things. So if here I want to picture the calendar, I can just search for calendar and go to images and just drag a picture of the calendar out here. And it's awfully big. I'll have to shrink that down to fit on the page. And there we go. There's the calendar. Now, you can also add notes to your slides here. And these are presenters' notes. So as you're adding this, you can see what it is you wanted to say. So if I put in notes here to when I'm running it as a slide, if I go to the presenter view actually shows you the notes. So when I use presenter view and I'm on this here, this little window that pops up, I can see the notes that I typed myself. And if they're too small because you're standing back from the computer, you can use the plus to make them larger so you can see them. And you can also click through and control the entire presentation from here. It shows you what's up next. And I click the next, 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 and you can see that it is actually showing all these things. But if I realize, oh, I wanted to go back and look at one again, instead of hitting back several times, I can just go back to one. And it shows me what I had. Then when you're done with the presentation, you can just close out of this and exit out of the presentation, and you're back to where you were. But when you have the screen split, so you're projecting onto the other screen and you can see the presenter notes on your own screen, that's really very useful. You can also apply various animations. So I can insert an animation, and there aren't many. There's not as many as in Microsoft PowerPoint, but that's fine. You don't need all that many, and I think it's actually beneficial that students don't have access to quite as many. But I can make this fade in on click, kind of fast, and I can even add a transition. And there's some transitions that look better than others. Flip and cube and gallery are 3D transitions. The other ones are two-dimensional. They slide in. Flip is kind of fun. You can see it flip like that. And then as I click, the calendar fades in. And if I don't like the calendar fading in, I can always click on this. It shows you a little picture of what it is that's being animated. And I can say fly in from the top. And let's see what that looks like. So here's our flip transition, and here's our fly in from the top. So you can adjust all of those, again, under the insert animation. You can also insert videos, YouTube videos. You can insert charts that you can create yourself or import them from sheets that you've already been working on. On the slide itself, background, layout, theme, all the same things that are right up here. Another transition button is up there. If you're selecting text, you have all the formatting options for texts and shapes. Arranging things, you can line them up. You have other things on here like the spell check, the explore, the define button. And preferences, if you want to go through and look at, okay, parentheses, the C in the middle gives me the copyright symbol, and the 2 dashes and the greater than sign gives me an arrow. You can turn any of these on and off. If you are getting tired of 1/2 turning into 1/2, you can just take this check mark off and it won't do that anymore. You can also have it automatically detect lists and links and smart quotes and capitalizing words automatically. You can adjust any of these settings as you're going. Now, the last thing that we can do with this is we can actually, well, you can import slides from PowerPoint, but you can download this as various things. You can download this as a Microsoft PowerPoint if that's the kind of format you want it to be in, but more likely you're going to want to download it as a PDF to share it with others. And because a PDF can be seen by anybody even if they don't have PowerPoint on their computer. So you can just download it as a PDF and click that, and it will show you that's downloaded, and it'll take us a couple seconds to do that for you. Sharing, again, is the very important thing here. You want students to share things with you, or you want to share things with students or with each other. and there's my PDF that popped up. And that does it for Google Slides.